first, thank you for your service and all that. But as a Marine, how do you feel?
Do you really say that to people? Like all the time?
Thanks for the service.
If I know them and like I appreciate that he did something I didn't do, yeah.
Continue.
Not all of them, but like I know him, so like, hey man, thanks.
Oh, so you respect me?
Yeah.
Oh.
But as a Marine, like how do you feel? Like obviously you weren't in the Vietnam War, but like just the whole look of training of basic training and boot camp. How did like
that shit was different. Like it's a different experience. And I tell people like you have no contact with the outside world at all. Only contact you have is through letters. Even if you in the penitentiary, the prison system, you still can make phone calls, right? No, for 13 weeks, 3 months, only thing you have to communicate with anyone from the outside world is letters. When you get there, you migrate and gravitate to individuals that look like you.
So it's prison.
Like that's what they do in prison, right? You migrate to people that look like you, that have the same ideas, ideologies as you, and things of that nature. But as time goes on, you start gravitating towards personalities, and then you really get to know everyone in your platoon, your unit, whatever you want to call it, your squad, babe. And that's what gets you through it. Like the shit sucks, the shit miserable, but the fact that you're going through it with, for me, it was 83 other individuals. No one else really bitching. So why am I the bitch? You know what I mean? So yeah,
you get that camaraderie?
That camaraderie.
I don't think I've ever thanked anybody for going to the military and getting paid to do a job that they signed up to do.
So, truth be told, I told someone today, I'm like the most unpatriotic person to ever go to the military. Because I didn't go to the military because, I love America, I want to fight for the country. I went to get out my circumstance.
I think that's most people.
Nah.
I'd say most black people.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair statement. Because the other side, you do have people that, woohoo, I want to go to war. I want to defend America. America. Fuck yeah.
Well, it's their country. It always has been. We just been here. We've been domestic partners for a long time.
Domestic partners.
Which takes me to a topic I want to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at the look on your face. What brings you here? Challenge Day.
Hey, Auntie. So there was an article that popped up that's getting all black women all riled.
Mad.
More than Fashion Nova jeans.
We mad. Oh, you big mad.
So I never knew this lady. Her name
Neither
is
did I.
B. Smith.
Okay.
She was a former model. She was on TV. She had her own show. She was labeled the Black Barbara Walters.
Wow.
Right? At that time.
And I've never heard of her.
It's true, but it's when we were like kids when she was on that ride. She was like on TV when Oprah was on TV.
Right.
Oprah just went further.
Well,
it's no one you really can compare to Oprah.
That's true. So,
now,
story comes out. She has Alzheimer's. Of course, everybody know what Alzheimer's is. So she was diagnosed 13 years ago.
Please.
How many years ago?
I want to say 13.
Keep going.
Okay.
So that's her. Okay.
So
leave that there.
It came out because her husband of 26 years.
Okay. Shout to stability.
Started posting pictures of himself and what is now his new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So, Buddy, still married to her, takes care of her, lives in the home with her, started to realize that he couldn't, in my eyes, my take is, he couldn't sit there and watch her die and also watch himself just kind of slip away too. Like he needed something and somebody.
Some remnants of who he is.
Right. So he went out and he met a woman who...
Whoa, but first, It's not like he met her off the street or Craigslist ad. You got to give the backup. They knew each other.
No, he had seen the woman in circles. They're New York like royalty,
Socialites.
like right Hampton socialites. So B. Smith had multiple restaurants until she got sick.
Oh wow.
One being in the Hamptons, right? So Buddy ran the restaurant in the Hamptons. So the lady that he ended up dating now is from that area.
Okay.
So
she's a hottie.
she's a 53. Dude is like 62 or 63. She's 53. A divorced mother of 3. I read this in the article.
Okay. Reading is fundamental.
Now I don't know which rich dude she had scooped up, as part of this, but whatever it is, she's in that social circle.
Right.
So she said that she had known of him and she knew B through parties. Like they used to always throw parties. Again, the lady has a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So she said that she saw him sitting at the bar like a year ago and saw what he was going through emotionally and just reached out to him.
I'm emotional.
Oh, Lord. And she just said, hey, if you want to talk, here's my number. She was reaching out on basically what she saw what she was going through when she went through her divorce.
Right.
That's what she said.
And he was like, he responded on something, drop dick off.
He didn't initially, according
He
to the
tried.
paper.
Yeah, he tried to drop dick off. She's like, no, I just want to be friends.
Right.
I just want to be friends.
He thought it was going to be like a
I'm dropping
hookup,
dick off.
and then that's it.
Right.
But she was like, no, I respect her too much to just do it that way.
Oh, look at JR trying to be like daddy.
So
You got men looking at her already.
So when they finally got to the point where it became a relationship, where it went public,
Mm-hmm.
that's when kind of all the backlash started.
Maybe use the mouse to. I'm saying you can do this. You smart.
There you go.
You smart.
Now they don't have any kids together.
Okay.
Him and B. Smith have no kids?
They have no kids.
Really?
Technically,
Ooh.
he had a daughter before her, and B raised her, so that's like her mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's who takes care of her now.
The daughter.
The daughter.
His daughter.
She's in the house full time. He's in the house, but he also still
Part-time.
travels back to Manhattan to do.
Where do they
business.
live?
They live in the Hamptons.
What's like? How far is travel to Hampton?
Like 2 hours.
Okay.
They had a house in Manhattan, but B used to get on the train. She would do Alzheimer's type stuff, like just get lost and
Right.
not know where she's at type stuff.
Dementia.
Be missing. So moving out here, they have a gated, big gate, big yard, like 10 acres.
You put a little electric collar on him and shook him.
He's so fucked up.
God
He's so
damn.
full of shit.
Hey.
So they moved out there kind of just so she could be at peace.
Right.
Free with it, just roaming the yard with the cows and animals and shit.
So the argument,
in a nightgown. Just
the controversy in lies.
I'm trying to paint a picture.
I got a lot of slack for posting this because I think most men feel the way he did of I can't put my life on hold basically until you die.
Okay.
Where most women was like, this is so fucked up.
He didn't never loved her.
Why
He must have always cheated.
he should
He's
just,
a bad guy.
he should just divorce her, basically, is what
Right.
most women are saying. Why do this publicly and still be married publicly?
Okay. So, you ready
Yo,
for
go ahead.
My opinion.
I'm gonna pass this around like
All
a
right.
blunt.
So let me. I'm gonna go to
Alleged blunt.
Allegedly light that shit up.
I'm about to go to a couple of different, scenarios with this, right? So, being the fact that I do work in the field, the geriatric field, professionally, right? So, it's really 3 stages of dementia / Alzheimer's, right? You have early stages, then I forgot what middle stage called, then you have late stages, right? Do you know late stages you revert back to being
A child.
a person between 0 and 3 months?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when that happens, you lose the ability to speak, lose the ability to treat for yourself, do for yourself, all these things, right? So Alzheimer's doesn't only affect the individual that has it, that's diagnosed with it. It affects the family, everyone around that situation.
Right.
So you're losing yourself because when you're married, right, you put so much of yourself into that individual. You guys grow together, so you have these memories together now, right? But then you get to a point when that person don't remember who you are, don't know who you are, that person is gone. But due to your loyalty and love that you share, you're going to do right by that person and make sure they have the best care for them as possible, period. But on the back end, you still have to live your life and go on.
Now let me ask you a question, and it's not. I know this might not be in your wheelhouse just because I know what you do, but like with healthcare,
Okay.
isn't it just easier if you're married and someone has this type of condition where you can be their power of attorney without that kind of gray area? Like, I think she's at that point where if she signed her name, she just signed it because you told her.
Right. So you're right. It is. It's easier, and because you don't have to have no power of attorney at that point. Your husband, your spouse, automatically takes that role.
Right.
Right. But if you're not married, someone has to be elected in that role.
Right, and that can't be.
Has to be appointed to that role.
And she can't appoint anybody at this
Right.
point in her life.
So not most of the time, what happens is, her doctor, her physician will say she's deemed unfit. Right.
Yeah.
And then her lawyer will become the individual.
Right. It's basically like a ward of the state.
Right. So, one thing I do applaud them because it's a difficult situation, but everyone doesn't understand what Alzheimer's do and all those things, right? So, like I said, it's a difficult situation, but I applaud him for being there for her, right? Making her life as normal as possible, because that's the thing that people fail to realize when you have that type of disease, because there's no cure for it.
Right.
We already know how that story ends. There's no cure for it. So, only thing you could do is people still feel, even though they can't speak, they can't verbalize what they're going through. They still feel. So they feel emotion through touch, all these things. So therefore, the fact that he's still there, he's communicating that he still loves her. That commitment he made before God when they got married is still there. But he still has to live his life. He has to find some type of happiness in the cards he was dealt.
Go ahead.
I think honestly his only mistake was making this shit public. Like if you don't want this backlash, you just shouldn't have made it public. You shouldn't have been like, this is what I'm doing. Like, I feel what you're doing, but like, don't be mad that people are like, they're ignorant and I can't believe they're saying this to me. Well, you put it on social media.
Well, he's not taking that approach.
Right.
He's like he pokes fun at people. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know that you had a direct path to God to, basically blast me for what I'm doing."
I get it, but still, like, it's a slippery. He's in the slippery slope. I don't envy him. I understand what he's doing, but at the same time, I just wouldn't broadcast it.
Okay.
Keep that shit private.
In today's society, as men, as heterosexual men, we're all on a slippery slope. We can't do anything without getting bashed.
I would say, I'm with him. Like, the daughter said that she basically told him, like, you setting yourself up to be attacked by posting and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, I imagine, like, what is he sitting there in the kitchen table? Oh, I love my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. We had such a good time. I think I need to post this picture.
He literally
No,
I think it started because he posted one picture of them out at dinner.
Right.
Just like every normal couple would do.
That's what you can't hide your happiness, bro. Like if he's in a shitty situation, I'm telling you, that disease destroys families, right? Like,
but you don't
destroy
have to,
marriages and all.
I get it. All I'm saying is there's plenty of people who you don't post everything.
That's true.
All I'm saying is, like, I understand why you're doing it. I'm not judging you.